Good afternoon. This is Oliver Slow, Blue Line Futures, coming to you from the suburb of Chicago with another episode of the 2-minute drill. Before we get into the charts, I do want to remind you, if you have not already or not a client and would like to test out a free 2-week trial of our daily commodity commentary, head over to bluelinefutures.com. From there, you can select the markets that you want to read about: grains, livestock, softs, energies, metals, etc. We've got a great team at Blue Line Futures, and they put together a lot of great information, actionable information each and every morning. So again, if you have not signed up for your free 2-week trial of that, head over to bluelinefutures.com and get that going. Now, without further ado, and now that we got that plug behind us, I can get into the charts. The first chart that we got pulled up here on the Blue Line Edge trading platform, which is a free complimentary platform to clients. July corn. We talked about the grain markets this morning in an interview with RFD TV, kind of talking about how they've been more or less a stick in the mud as of late. There's really not enough weather concern to get the market moving north, but there's still enough uncertainty that we're not really falling out of bed. I think there's some good tradable ranges here for the July corn, especially here in the very near term. We see pretty good support down here near 440. Break and close below that, and you probably see more selling. But if you know where your risk is and you know where you're wrong, I think that sets up for a good opportunity from a risk-reward standpoint. This purple line here is the 50-day moving average that we're keeping a very close eye on. We have not been able to close out above that for what seems like a lifetime. I mean, going back to October. So consecutive closes above that since October. So we're knocking on the door of that. Potentially, if we can get it out above that and the top end of the recent range here near 450, potentially that sparks a little bit more short covering and maybe entices some new momentum buyers to step into the market as well. So that's going to be certainly something we're keeping a close eye on through this week's trade. Now, moving over to some of the more lively markets, silver, we touched on last week. We had what appeared to be a blow-off top into the weekend. You had that war premium come into the market, and then that just evaporated, and we traded about $2 off of the intraday high, and that looked like that was going to be it for the silver rally, but really staging an impressive comeback here in today's trade, which is encouraging for the bull camp. Some of the other metals are performing well. Look at copper, aluminum. Those are breaking out to the upside as well. So if those industrial metals can continue to perform, I think regardless of what happens in the Middle East, that should be a nice tailwind for the silver market going forward. Trading at levels we haven't seen for, I think it's about 3 years now. So that's certainly going to be, something more interesting than the grain markets. And speaking about interesting and some volatility, the S&P today really breaking lower, breaking below the 50-day moving average for the first time in a long time with some conviction, and potentially that spurs a little bit more selling pressure through the week. Now, what is causing this? Is this war, selling, mongering? I don't think so. If you move over and look at the bonds are rolling over, which means interest rates are going higher. And I think stocks are just finally starting to take note. And if we continue to see rates rise, bonds sell off, I wouldn't be surprised to see more downside pressure in the stock market, looking at the S&P, NASDAQ, etc. So those are a few things we're looking at to start the week. If you've got any questions at all with regards to some of these markets, feel free to reach out to our trade desk. We are here to help. And again, one more time, if you have not signed up for a free trial of that daily commodity commentary, you can snap a picture of that QR code, takes you right to the landing page, or just visit bluelinefutures.com. Once again, trading futures and options involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors.